welcome back to my channel. My name's Claire and you are watching another episode of my cake chemistry series, the one where I talk all about the science behind baking. If you're enjoying these videos so far, please do remember to give them a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and hit the notifications button so that you don't miss any of the latest updates from me. And of course, if you've got any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in the future, please do pop them in the comments below or come and say hello to me over on Instagram. Today I'm going to be discussing flour. There are so many different types out there and often recipes refer to the same type of flour but just under a different name, so it can be quite confusing. Although there are a variety of grains and cereals, I'm going to be starting with the four main types that we use in baking: all-purpose or plain flour, self-raising flour, bread flour and cake flour. All-purpose flour, or in the UK we actually call this plain flour, is milled from the endosperm part of the cereal grain wheat. It's the whitest part of the kernel, hence the colour. This type of flour is made from a mixture of hard and soft wheat. It contains a medium amount of protein and no raising agents are added, so it's suitable for use in most biscuit and pastry recipes. Both all-purpose flour and plain flour can be used interchangeably. They're pretty much the same thing. Self-raising flour is essentially plain or all-purpose flour with added chemical leavening agents. This is what helps baked goods to rise, so it's most suitable for use in like cake and sponge recipes or other leavened goods such as scones. We can make self-raising flour from plain flour by adding baking powder in the correct ratio. However, I prefer to use ready-made self-raising flour if that's what my recipe calls for, because generally I get a better rise. Perhaps that's because the raising agents are more evenly distributed. Bread flour is quite different to the previous two mentioned. It is milled from hard wheat, which gives it a coarser texture due to it being more difficult to grind. Bread flours contain high amounts of protein and form the right amount of gluten to give yeast-raised goods, such as bread, a strong structure, high volume and fine, even crumb. If a recipe calls for bread flour, it should not be replaced with plain or self-raising flour because the results will be very different. Cake flour is an interesting one, and as far as I know, it's not widely available in the UK. It seems to be more of an American thing. In fact, it was only up until recently that I had even heard of it. It is milled from the soft wheat, the very heart of the endosperm, which gives it its bright white colour and fine texture because of the small particle size. Cake flours also have a fairly low protein content and slightly higher starch content than other flours. These qualities make it ideal for cakes and other baked goods that require a more finer, softer texture. If you're unable to find cake flour on your supermarket shelves, don't worry, you can easily make it at home by substituting some of the plain or all-purpose flour in your recipe for corn flour or cornstarch, which has a finer texture. This will give you the same or virtually the same result. I have never tried using cake flour in my recipes before, however I'm certainly going to give it a go in the future to see how it affects the final texture of my cakes. So there we have it, those are the four main types of flour we use in baking. I really hope this video was helpful. If you have any further questions then please do let me know. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!